In order to take care of my father, who got hurt from a fall, I gave up on my chance to get promoted, and even took a week's leave. On the day he gets discharged from the hospital, my dad hands me a mysterious envelope with a wide smile on his face. Thank you for your trouble over the past few days, Luther. This is a little token of appreciation for me. You can buy yourself a nice pack of smokes. I rub my hands together, feeling warmth surging into my heart, but when I open the envelope, all I see is $7. Still, I comfort myself in thinking that the sum isn't important at all. It's the thought that counts, after all. But the next day, I come across a social media post of my younger brother, Felix Grayson, who never showed his face around the hospital during Dad's hospitalization. It features a photo collage of a luxurious villa, with a photo of the purchasing contract smack dab in the middle of collage. The caption writes, "I bought the top-tier Riverside villa for $7 million. Thank you so much for your support, Dad." Chapter 1. I called my father, Winston Grayson, directly, doing my best to keep my voice calm. "Dad, I saw Felix's post. He said he paid in full for a villa. Where did the money come from?" On the other end of the line, Dad sounded delighted. "Oh, Luther, you saw that too? It's wonderful news. Our family finally has a new place in the city center." I asked where the money came from. I cut in. He paused, sounding slightly awkward. "Luther, that was the compensation money from when your mother passed away. She loved your little brother the most when she was alive. I'm just fulfilling her wish for her." I had always called it a deposit because whenever he asked for money, he would say, "I'm saving it for you. It'll be your future wedding fund." There was a short pause on the other end of the call. 2 seconds later, Dad said impatiently, "What do you mean your money? Why are you being so clear-cut about things within a family? Anyway, today we're celebrating Felix buying his new villa. Come over for dinner and stop making those snide remarks." With that, he hung up. I listened to the dial tone and wiped the tears from my eyes. Dinner? Fine. I would definitely go back and enjoy that meal. Chapter 2. The moment I stepped in, the living room was already packed with relatives. My brother, Felix Grayson, stood in the middle, animatedly boasting, "Uncle Simon, you don't know how impossible it is to get into Beckett Group. Tons of people try every year and most fail." But when I walked into the interview, the recruiter immediately said talent like mine was 1 in a.m. Illion, our uncle, Simon Dawson, grinned so wide that his wrinkles almost bloomed. I always knew Felix was clever as a kid. Dad, dressed in a pristine jacket, couldn't stop smiling. Chapter 3. I stumbled back from the shove, but once I regained my footing, a calm settled over me. "Fine, I'm not eating." I pulled out my phone, switched on the recorder, and held it up for everyone to see. "Since you've taken things this far, let me be clear. First, the $500,000 I entrusted to you is mine. I have the transfer records and even your voice message on WhatsApp admitting you were holding on to it for me. I will take legal action to recover it. Second, Mom's death compensation and the demolition payout from the old house are part of the FOMO. Why inheritance and jointly owned family property? I am the first in line to inherit, and I will take what is mine." The room froze. The relatives stared at me as if I had lost my mind. Dad's expression darkened in an instant. He lunged forward, trying to snatch my phone. "Luther, you'd really sue me? I'm your father, you ungrateful brat. I raised you with my own hands, and you dare take me to court over money?" I sidestepped his lunge and said coldly, "So you admit you're my father? When you handed me $7 as a gift, did you think about me? When you spent $7 million on a villa, did you think about me? I'll take care of you when you're old. That's my responsibility, but I'm not raising a giant baby, bro. There, and I sure as hell won't let you bleed me dry." When Dad failed to grab the phone, Felix lunged at me. "Damn it, you think you can run wild here? Let's see how brave you are when I hit you." I stepped closer, meeting his gaze without flinching. "Go ahead. I'll call the police right now. You just started at a major company, get an assault charge, and let's see if Beckett Group still want SU." Felix froze when I brought up his job. His hand hung awkwardly in the air, and he hissed, "Fine, Luther, you're ruthless. Over a few dollars, you don't even care about family." "Family?" I laughed bitterly. "That's your family, not mine. In this house, I'm just an ATM. I'm an outsider." I swept my gaze over the relatives who had been pointing and whispering. "I want to make this perfectly clear in front of all of you. Within 3 days, transfer my $500,000 back, along with my share of Mom's death compensation and the demolition payout. If you don't, the court summons will be sent straight to Felix's company. As of today, I'm no longer a member of this family, and I won't provide more than the legally require. Add minimum support." Without waiting for a reply, I turned and left. Behind me, Dad's anguished screams rang out. What a curse. How did I raise such a monster? Over $7, and he wants to sever ties with his own father. Shouts from relatives and Felix's curses blended into a chaotic roar. I headed to the elevator, and as the doors slid shut, I pressed myself against the wall. Tears finally streamed down my face. By now, I had accepted it. Dad had never loved me. Outside the compound, I called Gwendolyn. Her calm, clear voice came through the line. "Luther, what's wrong? You sound off." When I heard her voice, the tension I had been carrying for hours finally eased. "Gwen," I choked, "I have no home left." After a brief pause, she said firmly, "Where are you? I'll come get you. Wherever I am, that's your home." Chapter 4. 3 days had passed, and not a single cent had come my way. Instead, I was bombarded with endless abusive messages from Dad, from Felix, and from those Sokai relatives. I gathered all the evidence and sent it to my lawyer, ready to take legal action. Monday was crucial. I had a key meeting with Beckett Group. Just before it began, a ruckus erupted downstairs. I peered down from the window, frowning. Dad sat on the floor with messy hair, pounding his thighs and wailing, holding up a sign that read, "Luther Grayson, an executive at Cloudvine Group, my ungrateful son. You have abandoned your sick father and harmed your own brother." Felix stood next to him, live streaming with tears in his eyes. Tell me, is this fair? My brother is a general manager at a top company with a 7-figure salary, yet he won't pay for Dad's medical bills. Dad even skipped his own treatment to save money for him to buy a villa, and now he's trying to destroy us and even sue us. Is this how a successful person behaves? Is this the kind of partner Becca Group wants? The viewer count shot up, and the chat exploded with insults aimed at me. Everyone in the meeting room stared at me, some with disdain, some with pity, and some just waiting for the spectacle. I trembled with anger and marched down to the lobby. Dad lunged at me, grabbing my legs. Luther, please, don't sue us. I'll do anything. Your brother just got a job. You can't ruin him. Take the money. That's all I have to live on. I won't get treatment anymore. I might as well die. The crowd's anger flared up instantly. How can you be so cruel? He raised you, and now you're betraying him? Felix shoved his phone in my face and shouted, Luther, look, Dad's on his knees for you. Are you even human? I snatched a security guard's megaphone. Stop the act. You claim I abandoned Dad? Last week, he was in the hospital. I paid every bill and even tended to him. And where were you? You were busy house hunting. Dad, how dare you accuse me of taking money that could have saved your life? That $500,000 I kept with you came from my own salary. You used it to buy Felix's villa, and now you're calling me a thief? And Felix, didn't you say you were a rising talent at Becca Group? Is throwing a fit in the lobby how you prove it? Felix's face darkened, but the live stream viewers seemed to egg him on. He squared his shoulders and shouted, stop lying. I got it on my own merit, unlike you. You're just good at using money to bully your family. I sneered. Merit? Fine. Let's see if any of that merit lasts after today.